I have known Jen Keller since she came to Vashon Island more than 15 years ago and have always admired her and her farm Pacific Crest. In February of this year, I interviewed her for a project in our sustainable agriculture class. And at that time, I'd hoped to do more with that interview. And this class and this presentation has allowed me to apply new learnings to that experience. Pacific Crest Farms is a model that reveals both the possibilities and limitations of sustainable farming. The farm's nonprofit ownership structure, regenerative practices, and educational integration offer insights into what actually works. The farm spans 21 acres, owned by Pacific Crest School, a Montessori kindergarten through 8 school in Seattle. Jen is employed as a farm manager. This nonprofit ownership model eliminates the cost of land acquisition that excludes many aspiring farmers. Intensive production occupies only 1 acre, down from a peak of 3 acres, and this prioritizes in their operations efficiency and a work-life balance. The farm's most significant evolution in its history has been a 4-year transition to no-till agriculture, motivated by observation of soil degradation that Jen saw in the early years. This shift preserves soil structure, retains carbon, and reduces purchased inputs. Produce grown includes a variety of vegetables, approximately 1,500 fruit and nut trees, 40 to 50 per year laying hens, and a small sheep flock. No synthetic pesticides or fertilizers are used on any crops. An honor system farm stands as the primary sales channel, supplemented by wholesale relationships with 2 Vashon restaurants, Ruby Brink and the Bramble House. These restaurants adapt their menus to the produce that is available at Pacific Crest rather than demanding specific items. Middle school students from the Pacific Crest School visit every Tuesday and Friday for hands-on learning and work. And there is a dedicated farm educator managing student experiences. Public health benefits. This is pesticide-free produce. Community members access vegetables, berries, and fruits free from synthetic pesticides and herbicides, eliminating, certainly minimizing their exposure to chemical residues linked to various health issues. The nutrient density. No-till practices build soil organic matter and microbial diversity. This enhances nutrient uptake. Freshly harvested produce retains maximum nutritional value as compared with produce that is sitting for long times in transportation. Increased access. Year-round salad greens and seasonal vegetables at the farm stand and in the restaurants. Increase fresh produce accessibility. Also, the farm participates in a Farm Bucks program that provides free vouchers for fresh produce to those who need it. This removes immediate financial barriers for some community members. Food education is a public health benefit. Students gain hands-on experience with food production. They gain experience that shapes their food choices, and they develop a practical food literacy. Some environmental benefits. No-till is a pathway to carbon sequestration. Eliminating tillage provides soil structure and keeps carbon stored underground while increasing soil organic matter over time, actively pulling CO2 from the atmosphere. Reduced transportation. Pacific Crest Farm is part of a hyper-local food system serving primarily Vashon Island, although students, of course, take produce home on Tuesdays and Fridays. This eliminates all long-haul trucking. The farm stand model further reduces emissions by eliminating weekly ferry trips to Seattle farmers markets. Biodiversity and habitat preservation. 1,500 plus fruit and nut trees, diverse vegetable crops, integrated livestock, ponds, and 6 Totally wooded acres create a habitat for pollinators, birds, and beneficial insects. This is very different from monoculture agriculture. There is water quality protection. Zero use of synthetic fertilizers or pesticides protects the local watersheds and Puget Sound. No-till practices reduce erosion and nutrient leaching that plague some conventional farm operations. There's a reduced input dependency. There is a zero input dependency. No-till reduces the farm's need for purchased fertilizers, and soil biology is improved. This decreases manufacturing impacts, transportation of amendments, and petroleum-based product dependence. There are challenges. Housing, labor. Finding farm employees is very challenging. I mean, it's challenging for all farms, but particularly on Vashon, there's a pretty severe housing shortage. And at $20 to $25 per hour, workers struggle to afford rent without creative arrangements. So there's a high annual turnover that is expected, and this requires constant recruiting and training that prevents building and institutional knowledge. The island workforce is small and has a lot of competition across all sectors, including agriculture. Island logistics. Ferry-dependent supply chains make everything more expensive. So while Pacific Crest isn't importing fertilizer, and for the most part, very few soil amendments, there's still equipment and other supplies that require coordination with other growers for delivery. Mainland farmers easily source supplies. Island farmers face significantly higher prices and sometimes limited options. Another challenge is the honor system farm stand. It's currently successful. It has had some issues with theft, but the farm stand as an honor system creates vulnerability as the farm's revenue is largely dependent on voluntary payment. More opportunities for collaborating, acknowledging first that the whole model of the Pacific Crest Farm is a collaborative model. It's a collaboration between a school and a farm. Also, there is an existent the collaboration with the restaurants Ruby Brink and Bramble House. These demonstrate that flexible procurement, if menus are willing to adapt to available produce is a good model. There are other food retailers that can build seasonal menu planning around weekly farm availability. Workplaces could sponsor CSA-style farm shares as a wellness benefit. The school district could establish regular purchasing agreements for their salad greens, berries, and eggs. There are opportunities for educational partnerships even above that one with the Pacific Crest School. Organizations could sponsor field trip programs where employees or students engage in farm work, effectively using those visits as team building with purpose or hands-on food systems literacy. Universities could partner on no-till research, soil health monitoring, or crop variety trials, gaining access to 15 years of field observations. Another different way of collaborating is to seek investment for infrastructure. So other organizations that want to have measurable environmental impacts and are motivated to do that could fund critical infrastructure for Pacific Crest, like walk-in coolers, high tunnels. This extends food storage capacity, reduces waste, and provides students with more experiential learning. It's a tangible impact. It's more legible than carbon offset credits. obviously, I love Pacific Crest Farm. The farm is authentic in its commitment to regeneration. Jen had a willingness to acknowledge soil degradation and fundamentally change practices that demonstrate real stewardship. The 4-year no-till transition was grounded in direct observation rather than ideology. Evidence-based adaptive management actually works. One of the things I learned from my interview is how important ethical labor practices are to Pacific Crest as an organization and to Jen. They shifted from WWOOFers, which is the worldwide organization of farm interns, to salaried employees as part of kind of an ethical labor evolution, because WWOOFers are not paid very much. And it's really not a sustainable work model for people if they really want to stay in this. And after 11 years of training farmers through a local experiential training program, Jen continues mentoring with young farmers on the island and beyond. This challenges the exploitative educational internship model that normalizes a lot of unpaid intern agricultural work. Finally, Jen is just really realistic. She has an honest assessment that even if there were 10 more farms of the size of Pacific Crest on Vashon, they couldn't come close to completely feeding the local community. And she reflects critical thinking that is often missing from local food romanticism. Jen continues her work understanding both its value and its limitations. I really love the intellectual honesty that strengthens rather than undermines the farm's mission. Pacific Crest demonstrates that ecological regeneration, economic viability can coexist when farmers have autonomy, fair labor practices, and community support. The nonprofit ownership model offers a pathway for new farmers to manage operations without land acquisition barriers. Institutional partnerships can scale impact without requiring farms to grow beyond their sustainable limits. What strikes me most is the farm's refusal of grandiosity. Jen Keller knows her farm won't feed Vashon Island or save agriculture, and she continues forging ahead, grounded in daily feedback loops of soil health and customer satisfaction. 20 former employees now manage farms across the country. This is evidence of the effects of building the next generation of practitioners. This is what constitutes the actual practice of sustainable agriculture. In a food system largely built on profit and exploitation, that alone is radical achievement.